All right, 7 o'clock. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Pathway to Leadership. Tonight's going to be very interesting. We've got the 28-day challenge that we're going to talk about. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the 28-day challenge, the 28 challenge is all about making small, little adjustments to your everyday habits and activities that will help self-develop you over the next 28 days. And with that, I'm also going to include the 10 most popular traits. I'm sorry, I keep saying 10. I'm stuck on 10. It's actually the 7 most popular common traits that highly successful people have in common. And these successful traits are actual habits that they developed over time. So why do we talk about 28 days? Well, 28 days is approximately what it takes to learn something new and to develop it into something that you're going to hang on to for a long time. In other words, if you want to develop a new habit or break a bad habit, it takes about 28 revolutions for you to incorporate that into your daily life. And then you don't even recognize it anymore. It's no longer something you have to work at. It becomes a new habit. So the 28-day challenge is to start making small adjustments to everything that you do to help you develop into a better leader and to deal with things in a different way. So let's get started with habit number 1. And I think it's important that before we even go there, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. That really helps the algorithm know that we're here and we're a strong community. But let's get back to the 28-day challenge. It's easy to say these words, and it's easy for me to sit here and, I have my venue of, I'm going to be on camera and, I'm going to say all of these different things to you. But I'm telling you, if you don't bother to make a commitment to make a change for 28 days straight, you're doing this all for nothing. And I mean, you're really doing it all for nothing, because we just got that out of the way. It takes 28 revolutions. So we're going to start with the first one. Your first 28-day challenge is feed your mind positive things first thing every morning. Every single morning, as soon as you get up, somehow break your normal routine of whatever you're feeding your mind right now, and make sure the very first thing that goes into your brain is something positive. And I'm going to tell you right now, if the first thing you're opening up is social media and looking at all the drama, if it's the news and looking at all the crazy stuff in the world, you're not doing yourself any favors. Find something that you can latch on that's inspirational, positive, and is going to feed your mind the right way. It's a tough day that you're facing. It's a tough day. It's always a tough day. But like a healthy breakfast that feeds you physically to tackle the day, you need a healthy dose of positivity in your mind to give you that reinforcement that no matter what comes your way, you're going to be ready for it. Now let's take a look at the chat. Looks like Scott came in. Scott, I'm gonna kind of throw you under the bus. I'm glad you're here, Scott Dennis. You've been working with, and I'm going to put a link in my videos shortly. It's not in this video, unfortunately, but Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits, I think, is really a great companion book, the Atomic Habits book, because it talks about making a 1% change in what you're doing. And I think it really goes hand in hand with the 28-day challenge. So I think, Scott, glad you're here. Chrissy says no more Facebook. Yeah, that's a challenge. That's a challenge. I had to edit my Facebook, but I'll get to that in a second. The thing about, you have to make a commitment to self-develop. At Pathway to Leadership, and there's many books and everything on how to do this. I found personally those that commit to the 28-day challenges, because it's not just one, actually have a level of success, because what they're doing is they're actually setting aside time and breaking their routine so that they can fit these development items into their daily life. And when they do it for 28 days, then all of a sudden it sticks and they move forward onto the other challenges. Getting back to Chrissy, a little story here. I was guilty of the Facebook problems of everybody that I was friends with. Very first thing when I got up, I'd grab my cup of coffee and go sit outside at the front of the house and open up Facebook and start reading the drama and all the nuances of, hey, look what I ate last night. Look at the problems that I have. Oh my gosh, people trying to latch onto me to give them negative emotional support. And that was feeding me all wrong. So I started going through my Facebook and started getting rid of the drama. I open my Facebook right now. You know what I get? I get advertisements. I get advertisements and memes. Because after I eliminated everybody with drama, I don't get anybody chiming in to my Facebook. So Facebook's become extremely boring for me because I don't want that in my life. There's enough drama out there that you're going to have to deal with. Why take on 100? I don't know how many friends you have, but let me tell you something. I found out over the long run, when it comes to social media, the amount of followers you have is the amount of problems that you deal with every time you open that app, and I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Close friends and family only is what I do. Not telling you what to do, but first thing, I don't open social media. That's later on. And even if I open it up later on, sometimes I don't. So the other thing that I got rid of was news first thing. gosh, at one point, every time I got up, grab my coffee, go outside. Yeah, how am I going to fill the void? I was filling it with news. Well, I'm going to open up a news app and see what's going on in the world. Boy, is that depressing. Someone got shot, someone got murdered, someone got politics, this presidential candidate saying this congressman did that, this box store did something stupid, everybody's going to boycott. Hey, I don't need that. I got a big day ahead. I have responsibilities. I'm a leader in the company that I'm at, and I need to have a good dose of positivity. So I think it's really important that for 28 days straight, you figure out a way to change your morning routine that you feed your mind something positive first thing. And I guarantee you, after 28 days, you won't even notice that you're doing that for yourself every single day. So, and that's number one of the major traits that successful people have. So let's talk another one. Define your goals. Defining your goals. I'm just going to read it from over here. It says, clearly identify what you want to achieve during your challenge. Make your goals specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So, all right. So you're going to do the 28-day challenge. What's achievable? What small, little things can you adjust in your day that at the end of 28 days is achievable? So if you're going to come to me and say, well, John, I want to write a novel, and I'm going to set aside time every single day to write this novel, and by the end of 28 days, it'll be done. No, that's not how this works. But if you're going to take one of the traits, one of the things that successful people have, which is goal setting, defining goals, reflecting on goals, and seeing how you're developing and how you're moving towards achieving those goals. Well, if you do that for 28 days straight, then keeping perspective of your goals now becomes a new habit. Here's where people fail. They don't commit to it. They don't commit to the 28 days. And that's it's a challenge. I'm not gonna say it's not a challenge, but it is, because you're coming out of your comfort zone, you're creating a new routine, and you're adding these elements in. So let's see what it says from Pathway to Leadership about goal setting. Highly successful individuals set clear and specific goals. During your 28-day challenge, you should be taking time to define your goals and create actionable plans to help achieve them. Goal setting is important for successful people because it provides direction, motivation, measurement, and prioritization. Solution-oriented thinking, personal growth, and better decision making. If you don't wake up every day and have your future goals in front of you, then how are you supposed to put effort into achieving them? By setting and pursuing meaningful goals, individuals can increase their chances of achieving their success and other aspects of their life. Again, if they're not in front of you, if you're not reflecting on what your goals are on a daily basis, well, guess what? Chances are that's on the back burner and something else is going to take priority. So let's recap so far. Positive mindset, first thing. Let's recap our goals every morning. How much time is that going to take? I mean, those of you in the chat, honestly, how long will that take every morning with your cup of coffee? 10 minutes tops? I think 10 minutes is actually too long. I think it might only take maybe 4 minutes. So you incorporate those two things. Habit number 3 for your 28-day challenge is time management. How much time do we spend doing things that absolutely have nothing to do with anything that we're trying to accomplish? And I mean nothing. So evaluate your day. let's start with, I woke up this morning. I got my cup of coffee. I went outside or went wherever I went, and I did my morning routine. And then start analyzing all the wasted time that you're doing something that's other than what you should be focused on. It's amazing how many things you'll come up with that you could cut out of your daily routine to make things better for you. You know, when we focus on our goals and dreams, when we focus on the task at hand, when we don't allow distractions to get in the way, we're pretty amazing. We're pretty amazing people. You're pretty amazing people when you turn around and put your mind to it. As a matter of fact, if you weren't here tonight, what I mean, let's flip that. Because you're here tonight, you're pretty amazing people. Because you understand that self-development is amazing and how much it'll impact your life in the future. And time management is so important because there's so many things that you could do in an entire day. And I'm not talking about 12. Let's just talk about, let's talk about 10 hours. How about the hour before you start work and the hour after you get back? How much do you think you can accomplish? You know, in the military, we do an exercise where the drill instructor actually has a stopwatch. And he says, okay, I want everybody to get dressed as fast as they can. And he sets the timer. Everyone gets dressed and he goes, you know, you did this in 45 seconds. You're fully dressed in uniform, from skivvies to uniform in 45 seconds. And you don't realize it. And then he does another exercise where he says, now I want you to sit on the end of your cot and be quiet. And I'm going to set the timer and we're going to wait 1 full minute. And he clicks the timer. And 1 minute all of a sudden seems like an eternity. Because your brain is functioning on a different level. It doesn't know how to measure empty space and time. And therefore 1 minute feels like an eternity. Is it ever going to end? I can't stand the silence. I can't stand the fact that I'm not doing anything. So, I challenge you to try that exercise. Let's see how long it does actually take you to do certain tasks. And then sit quiet for 1 minute. Or have someone time you and say, I'm going to sit quiet for 1 minute and I want you to time 1 minute and let me know when it's over. You'd be amazed at how much time or how much you can actually accomplish in 1 minute. And that's pretty incredible stuff. Let's move on. Continuous development. Okay. So for 28 days, set some time aside. How are you going to develop yourself? Well, let's say one of the things that you need to work on is typing. There are some awesome programs online just for typing that will help you improve. And you could set apart 15 minutes a day, just 15 minutes. And if you think about it, how fast does 15 minutes go? All right. Well, for instance, we've been live for 15 minutes and you're self-developing. So are you telling me that 15 minutes is too much time to set aside for personal development? I think not. If whatever skill, you might want to learn Excel, you might want to learn marketing, you might want to learn how to do reports, you might want to learn better communication skills. Let me tell you something. When you dedicate yourself to setting aside time, 15 minutes a day for 28 days, well, that's a lot of time at the end of 28 days. How much do you think you're going to improve? Well, I'll tell you what, if you don't do it, you're not going to improve. So sitting back and saying, yeah, that 28-day thing, that sounds good on paper. As a matter of fact, watching John do the video, he was really excited about this. And he's like, yeah, that's great. You know, I watched the video about the 28-day challenge, and 28 days from now, you haven't done shit. Where do you think you're going to be? You know, It's really important that if you do want to affect change, you have to start with changing yourself. You have to start with developing yourself. So again, I'm going back, reiterate. Let me scroll back up over here. We're talking about positive mindset. A few minutes every morning. No big deal. Goal setting. Reminding yourself of your goals, where you're at. A little bit of evaluation there. Understanding your time management. Looking for those pitfalls in what you're doing every day that has nothing to do with the direction or goals that you're going for. Continuous development. What are you doing? Do you set time aside to say, I need to learn something new today? Could be the smallest thing. Like I said, you could turn around and say, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm just going to do this 15-minute exercise on typing. I'm going to look up some coding for Excel so I can be better when I'm creating spreadsheets. I'm going to watch this video about communication skills. I'm going to join Toastmasters. And I'm going to go to a 30-minute get-together once a month so I can improve my communication and speaking skills. I mean, if we don't invest in ourselves, what makes you think that we have what it takes to invest in others? Think about that. Next is developing your network. Okay. So it's funny. I just recently had this conversation with someone and I said, you are the sum value of the people you keep around you. Surround yourself with losers? Well, guess what? It's proven. You're going to be the value of the people that you keep around you. So develop your network. Always looking to increase the quality of people that are around you every day. If you have good people that are around you, great. I have people in my circle that I keep around me. So one person, I was talking with my wife, and I said, this person has nothing and will never have anything to do where they're going to come to me and say, hey, John, I got advice for you and I'm going to help you out and I'm going to help you achieve your goals. But this one person is like my biggest cheerleader and confidant. If I'm having a bad day at work, this person knows it and says, hey, John, how you doing? And I'll explain it to them. And they go, you know what? No, you got this. You're going to be fine. And I say, this person, although they don't literally contribute a whole lot, the fact that they're just a cheerleader for me, I want to keep them in my network because we need cheerleaders. True cheerleaders that are rooting us on. They might not have any idea of what we're doing on a daily basis, but you know what? They make us feel like they have faith in us and that they're going to just work hard to cheer us on. And developing that network is really important because you're going to outgrow the people that you surround yourself with. As you go down the pathway of leadership, the people that are around you today, I hope, will not still be your circle of people 5-10 years from now because you're going to outgrow those people. Some of them will grow with you. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you surround yourself with the right people for today and then outgrow them. And also in retrospect, realize this, excuse me. It's not only about the people that are surrounding you. Think about the people that you're part of their network. Remember that. You might not realize it, but there are many people out there that might keep you close because they want what you have in their life because they need you in order to grow. And that's a whole lot of leadership skill right there, is to start learning to recognize where you're best at and where you're most effective. But for 28 days, a few minutes about thinking about that, just thinking about that concept. You do that for 28 days. I'm telling you, you're going to have a much broader outlook on what it takes to be in someone's network and what it takes to be in your network. And last thing on the network, just like a manager interviews potential employees for their team, do the same for the people that you're going to allow into your life. Make sure you vet them. Make sure you ask the right questions. Make sure you really know that this person is actually good for you and is not going to be toxic. Interview them as if you were hiring an employee. And you'll be amazed at how many people you'll turn away from your personal network when you exercise the interview process with them. It's amazing. All right. Another habit. Now, okay, so look, you don't have to do this all at once. The 28-day challenge, just take one thing. Don't stress yourself out. It's not meant to happen all in 28 days. If you can do 1 and 2 and concentrate on them for 28 days in a row, great. Just stay focused, stay committed. If you think 2 is too many, do 1. If you think 2 is too less, do 5. Okay? Don't overextend yourself. Don't try to change all your habits at once. It's a growth and development process. It's committing to 28 days for everything that you're looking to change and develop yourself with, and realizing it. So, habit number 6, staying the course. This is the tough one. Life gets in the way. Got it. Got to go here, got to go there, got to, have this to do, have that to do. And I know that life gets in the way and it's not easy. So we're on common ground there. But when you get into the habit that your 28-day challenge is so important to your personal development, you'll find a way to fit it in. And that's staying the course no matter what the obstacles are. And another thing about that, great leaders overcome obstacles. It doesn't mean that they don't hit them. It doesn't mean that they don't fall down. It doesn't mean that they don't have to dust themselves off and say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run harder at the wall. You run hard enough at that wall enough times, one or two things are going to happen. You're going to break or the wall's going to break. So you have to make that decision. Or you run hard enough at it and make a quick left and get around it. That's just an analogy. But the fact of the matter is, we are not defeated. That is the bigger killer of developing leaders, is the feeling of defeat and allowing that word to enter your brain. We are not defeated. Everyone who joins Pathway to Leadership is not defeated. You're part of a strong community. I don't see many leadership communities out there, and I'm so glad that you're here. And I can see on my little dashboard that I've got way more people viewing than commenting. And I encourage your comments because, this is a conversation. So if you're not commenting right now, maybe it's because you haven't subscribed yet. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. In about a minute, you can go ahead and chime in. I want to hear your thoughts. But right now, I want to focus on the feeling of defeat. Yeah, you hit that brick wall enough times, you feel defeated. We can't allow that to happen. As aspiring leaders on the pathway to leadership, defeat is not an option. Overcoming obstacles is the option. That's why great leaders have that one trait in common. Well, they have 7, but this one here is staying on course no matter what the obstacles are. And I want to read it to you. Success is a result of consistent effort and perseverance. The challenge here is to develop a habit that will empower you to stay committed to your goals, even with challenges and setbacks. This is where your network challenge plays a big role in helping you stay the course. keeping the right people around you. They're going to help you if they're the right people. The people here in Pathway to Leadership that are part of the YouTube channel, the website, the social media, you know, these are part of your network. Now, they might not be your close five, but they're there. It's a community. When you start feeling like you're defeated, hey, you need to reach out. And you need to reach out 28 days in a row and more. Don't allow defeat to get into your head. Learn how to get around that. Let's go into habit number 7. Oh, there is 10. You know, why did I say? I guess I was confused. All right. Habit number 7, health and wellness. Part of your 28-day challenge. And like I said, it doesn't matter. You can do 28 days. This can take a year, as long as you're doing 28 days for each thing. Health and wellness. If you're not healthy and taking care of yourself, how can you take care of others? It's just a fact. You got to be on your A game. You got to be able to turn around and say, hey, my mental health is very important because I need to take care. I've got other people that are depending on me, and I got to be on my A game. You know, being a leader doesn't mean it goes without sacrifice. Self-development is not without sacrifice. You have to make those sacrifices, and that's what makes people great leaders, is they understand the sacrifice. I can't allow myself to get beat up, destroyed, thrown in the gutter. I got a bunch of people that are depending on me. Emotionally, physically, intellectually. I have to be on my A game. I have to take care of myself physically and mentally. That health is extremely important to everyone's future, not just your own. So take time, you know, after you get through a few challenges and you get those new habits under your belt, start taking a look at your health and wellness, mentally and physically, and put together for the next 28 days. You're going to focus on your well-being. And I understand about caring for others. You know, you want to put others first, and that's great. But if you want to be there for others, you got to start with yourself. Make sure you're healthy, mind, heart, soul, and physically, so that you can be there for others when they need you. Habit number 8, continuous improvement. Like self-development, but different. You know, you're talking about develop yourself as one of them, John, but this sounds like the same thing, but it's not. Continuous improvement is about your personal situation. For 28 days in a row, however you fit it in over the course of the next year, for 28 days in a row, take some time out of your day to concentrate on your personal situation and work on improving it. Whether that be income, money, you know, that's always a big thing. It could be your personal situation with your home, your relationships, your health, position, title, whatever it is. Okay, whatever your situation is, whatever can be improved, focus on it for 28 days. You'll be amazed at how far you get at the end of 28 days from where you started. Because remember, if you don't do anything, nothing's going to happen. Nothing falls from the sky and improves your situation automatically. You have to do it. So, for 28 days, think about improving your personal situation. Then, another habit for the 28-day challenge, because that's what we're talking about, is developing others. Finding ways and opportunities to help teach others what you've learned and share your experiences. Now, I'm not talking about for 28 days you go out there and say, hey, you know what, Bill? I'm going to teach you something. I'm talking about legitimately keeping your eyes open to the people that are around you. And when you identify a coaching or training opportunity or have a legitimate reason to share something, for 28 days, you're looking for those opportunities. And then you're going to capitalize on them when they show themselves. I'm not saying, 28 days, every single day, you're going to have something to teach. But for 28 days, you're looking. You're staying aware of your environment and the people that are in it. And you're waiting for the opportunity to show itself so that you can step in to learn, to coach, teach, and mentor someone. Because if you're not in the habit of looking for it, you're going to miss it. And as leaders, you don't want to miss those opportunities. Right? Okay. Now that brings us to habit number 10. Yay, we got to number 10. I can tell by the chat, nobody's, either you're really listening intently or all of your keyboards are broken. Let's overcome adversity. And everybody order a new keyboard so that you can type in the chat. Okay? Let's work on that for the next 28 days. Whatever. Okay, habit number 10. Strong worth ethic and work routine. Focusing for 28 days on how does your day look on paper? How does it look in reality? What are the stress points? What are the friction points? What is stopping you from getting your projects done? What's stopping you? Focusing daily for 28 days in a row on what your action plan is. What's your plan of attack? Yeah, we all have projects. We have a lot of things to do on a daily basis, but we can let those things get out of control and we start ping-ponging all over the place. Well, how about taking a little bit of time for 28 days in a row and focus on what our actual work routine is, and are we showing a strong work ethic to the people that are taking notice? I don't want to call the people that work under us or that follow us kids, but sometimes you actually have to do this. There's a wonderful commercial on TV that the father steps in the vehicle and he doesn't put his seatbelt on, but he's telling his kids to put their seatbelt on. And then, later on in life when they get their license and get in the vehicle, they don't wear their seatbelt because they grew up, dad never wore a seatbelt. So the point of that matter is they grew up seeing something that dad never realized they were watching. And this goes for the employees and the people that are following us. If they're not seeing a strong work ethic out of us consistently, how are they going to say, I need to do that? How are they going to be able to do that? If they're not seeing that strong work ethic out of their leaders and they're following you, don't expect them to have a strong work ethic. It's not going to happen. You're fooling yourself. So develop the strong work ethic, because you never know who's watching. It might be someone completely disassociated with you that might learn something from observing what you're doing. And your work routine. Look at what is going on every day that you're out there performing tasks, solving problems, doing your everyday activities. It's not only at work, this is at home too. What are the time wasters? The time monster that's, comes in and the next thing you know, oh my God, I just spent a half an hour doing nothing. I was busy, but I didn't do anything. I got nowhere. I didn't get closer to my goals. I didn't build a relationship. I didn't learn anything. I had a whole chunk of time that just got stolen from me. They say, oh, there's a part of my life I'll never get back again. Yeah, that's pretty incredible. Hi, Jimmy. Nice to see you came in. Good to see you. Scott Dennis says, I use a biblical principle to my network. I need a Moses, someone wiser than me, a Paul, an equal where we aren't impressed with each other, a Timothy, a younger person to bring it up. Yeah, and you know what? I could speak a little bit to that, because we all understand that there are plenty of Timothys, and I don't want to turn to this reference too much, but Timothy was the one that doubted that Jesus rose from the dead, and until I put my finger into the wounds, I'm not going to believe. But we all kind of need to understand that we have plenty of Timothys in our lives, Timothys that don't believe anything that we're doing. They're the haters that will criticize you for everything and say, this isn't working for me, and until it actually works for me, it's not real. Until I get to experience it, it's just a bunch of words on paper. And they need to have a little bit more convincing to get them to understand. Chrissy says, always learning, always teaching. Yes, very, very much so. Always learning, always teaching. So to go back to the 10 most common traits of highly successful people. The first is a positive mindset, feeding your mind something positive every day, first thing every day. Setting goals and evaluating those goals on an everyday basis. Learning time management. It's critical. It's critical to learn time management and identify the things in your life that are just wasted time, that's just stealing good opportunities away from you. Continuous development, developing yourself, educating yourself, enhancing your skills, developing your network, making sure that you have the best people possible around you at all times. Your cheerleaders, your people that are smarter than you, the people that you can confide in, the people that have your back all the time. Staying on course no matter what the obstacles are. Fall down, you're going to. Dust yourself off and say, listen, if I have to run harder to get through this brick wall, I will. If I have to run hard and take a sharp left turn and get around it, I'll do that also. But knowing that you have a dream, you have a goal, and you will figure out a way to punch through. Maintaining your health and wellness, both mentally, spiritually, psychologically, and physically. Because if you really want to be there for others, make sure you're all tuned up. And I know physical things happen to everybody, and that's just part of life, growing older. But you know what? Take care of yourself. You can't take care of others unless you know how to take care of yourself. Continuous improvement. Always trying to better your situation. Whatever your situation is, if you spent a little bit of time on it each day for 28 days in a row, you'll develop a habit that will always continuously strive to improve your personal situation. Taking time out each day for the next 28 days to generate this habit of developing others. Yes, keeping that ear out, keeping an eye out for those that are giving you an opportune moment to give coaching, teaching, and mentoring. It doesn't mean that you have to teach them and mentor them for 28 days straight. It means that you're looking and being aware, and when those opportunities present themselves, your habit is already there. That habit is already there, and you're going to help develop others. And finally, number 10, strong work ethic and work routine. That's right. You never know who's looking and who's learning from you. They could be behind the scenes, someone that you never even thought of. But the fact that you have a personal strong work ethic and you've looked at your work routine and have narrowed it down into the essential elements that make you the most productive, people are watching. They're always watching. You never know who it is. And that's what we do as leaders. So that's what I got for us tonight. I know we didn't go the full hour because, you know what? We maximized our time opportunities. We did exactly what we were supposed to tonight. For 42 minutes, we talked about the 28-day challenge, how to incorporate new habits into your life, the 10 most common traits that the most successful people in the world have in common. And we had a great dialogue. I think that was wonderful. Please, if you haven't so already, please hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed. The only way that you're going to get into this chat is you have to be a subscriber. All right? Sorry. You know, I just don't want it, open to anybody that wants to run in and start causing disruption. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Be part of the conversation. And again, I thank you for being here at Pathway to Leadership. The only reason why this community is getting stronger every day is because of people like you, and I appreciate you being here. And I hope you got something out of the video. So, as always, I'm going to go ahead and put the cut screen on, and I'm going to leave the chat open. So I might throw a couple of hellos out there to you, and we'll leave the chat open for a little while. And I will see you next time on Pathway to Leadership. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.